tuning in to D4 Sports, Day Drinking with Don and Dustin. I'm Don.
And I'm Dustin, and we're bringing you sports talk from around the world and drinking tips to make every game a winner.
We appreciate you checking out our podcast. So now,
live from Lubbock, Texas,
and London, England,
this is D4.
Welcome, everyone, to D4 Sports Day Drinking with Don and Dustin, episode 98 on this beautiful 26th of July. And Dustin, let me say good morning. How are you? I know it is morning your time, afternoon my time, but how are things?
Usually is morning, which is okay. This morning is good. I've been up for about 20 minutes, so just
I see.
Trying to get going.
Just raring to go.
Yep. My coffee machine works, so there's that.
Well, there you go. I had one of those nights, and I don't know if this is just indicative of getting older, but you know that sometimes you go to bed and you wake up and you're like, oh, and you feel refreshed and you look at the clock and it's like still the middle of the night. Well, last night, and I was telling you, my wife and I had a lovely day yesterday. We had a day trip up to Cambridge to see the universities and stuff, and big day, all day out, and then came home, went to a pub for dinner and all that. We were pretty tired last night, went to bed probably around 11 o'clock. I woke up after sleeping a while thinking to myself, wow, hey, I feel pretty good, but I knew it was still dark, so I knew I hadn't slept all night. I looked at my watch. It was 12:33.
You had a long way to go.
I think might have been the earliest that I've ever had that happen to me. I'm like, I just had a nap. I just had a midnight nap, and now what am I going to do? Thankfully, I was able to go back to sleep pretty easy, but I don't know. Did that ever happen to you?
I've definitely had those, and it's almost where you wake up at 3:30, 4 o'clock, and you're like, oh man, I slept good. And then you realize you have several hours. I've always found that going back to sleep and waking up, I always feel worse than when I did at the 4 o'clock time.
Yeah, see, I'm not quite that way. I generally, if I can actually get back to sleep and sleep another hour or two, I'm usually all right. It's, when the worst one's like, when you wake up at 5:30 and you're like, oh man, I don't have to get up yet, but it's not enough time to really sleep much more and whatever. So, well, anyway, so nothing like a good interrupted night of sleep, but I did get back to sleep and slept pretty well. So that was nice. It's cooled down a bit. I do have my air conditioning unit in full force, nonetheless, but it has cooled down a bit. We're supposed to get another mini heat wave this week, so that'll be fun. But just kind of doing our thing over here in the UK. Some interesting sports tidbits happening. I got some stories from. I went to the cricket match. I'll bring those in a little bit. A couple of exciting moments. But all in all, just kind of doing our thing here in the London summer. How about Lubbock? How's things?
It's hot.
Oh yeah,
that's about all I got. Yeah, I mean it's about a 7-day period of 98 to 102.
Nice.
Every day.
Nice.
So, yeah.
I'll say last time you said it was raining in Lubbock, which doesn't happen very often. So.
No, it doesn't. But there was a period where it would rain for about 30 minutes every night, maybe about a week straight.
Yeah.
Which was
nice.
That doesn't happen. You're right.
No, not very often.
But not much else going on here. School's starting in a couple weeks for the kids, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, we're just getting into holiday period over here, and like I said, I told you off screen, we went up to Cambridge yesterday, and we happened to show up. So one of the big things that you do when you go to Oxford or Cambridge is you actually go into the colleges, right? All the various colleges that make up the university. You can walk into the quad. You can see some of the buildings. There's a couple. The big school at Cambridge is King's College. And that one you got to pay like £20 to get into. And there's a couple, but most of them are free, except when you show up, as we did, on the day of graduation. So that was nice. We get there and we got off the train. There was a ton of people on the train. We get off. The city is just swarming with people. And then we get down by the colleges and we see all the people in their black robes with these like the white ties. Like you've probably seen them in like old school. They still wear the old school like ties around their robes and stuff. And so we got there right at the end of graduation. So it was crazy. And then all of the colleges were closed, which was kind of a bummer. So we didn't get to go in and see any of the colleges, but had a nice day up there. But yeah, now that's pretty much now all school is out for the summer and we're getting on the holiday, and, not much happens here, in August. So we're pretty close to that here on the 26th. So
very close.
Yeah. Things are starting to quiet down. You guys are just getting ready to go back to school though, right? I mean, like school starts the 15th or something like that for you guys?
Yeah, no. Here in about 3 weeks. Yep.
Yeah. That's
kids
wild.
are excited.
Yeah. And I, again, my kids are far too old for me to think about school anymore, which I have to say is really quite nice. As much as I enjoyed raising my children, not thinking about school schedules is extremely nice. But yeah, very different over here because they don't start until the 1st of September pretty much everywhere across the UK, and everybody goes on holiday in August. So,
right.
But as we will talk about soon, that does mean that the sports seasons are getting ready to get going again.
Finally.
And I know, over here. So we've actually had, obviously with the World Cup, we had a lot of football/soccer over the summertime. But the Premier League and the Championship League getting ready to kick back off. So we'll have some Millwall news coming up here in a bit, and more to come in the coming weeks. And of course, NFL training camp gets started. So, not long now until we'll actually have professional football again in the American football in the U.S. So that'll be nice. But, because for now we're still, well, I guess we got basketball news, although, we kind of already hinted at it last time, but we got more. But for now, we're still pretty much hanging out with, I suppose, less popular sports and baseball, at least in the American sports world, and really over here too, as it goes. So, but, obviously this show is not just about sports. We talk about sports and we talk about drinking and how one should go about doing that to enjoy sports in the proper manner. And I can't resist. Let us not enjoy alcohol with regard to sports the way Tony Romo just did.
Yeah, we don't want to be doing that.
And we shouldn't laugh at DUI because it's not funny at all. But Tony Romo gets picked up for DUI just this last week up in Milwaukee. And, the beauty of Tony Romo is his announcing style. And, how he kind of is known to just kind of go, and he kind of, and he makes a lot of noises. And he's like, here we go. And so the memes, when Tony Romo got arrested, were just perfect, right? He's like, here we go, Jim. As all the captions. And, there's one video, the cop pulls Tony Romo over. He says, "Sir, have you been drinking?" He's like, Anyway.
It is not funny, but at the same time,
we just made fun of it.
Yeah. There's humor in it.
Yeah. Well, and it's just because it's Romo, right? And that sort of thing. But anyway, so in light of the dual-pronged theme of the show, I will share my drink of the day, which I think I've had it on here before. I'm pretty sure I have. This is Death in the Afternoon, which is a really good cocktail. Really simple to make. If you have a sugar cube, use sugar cube. If you don't, I don't have cubes. So you just use about a teaspoon of sugar, some absinthe, and then top that up with Prosecco or sparkling wine. And it's just a good drink. It's a really good drink. And again, for those who don't love absinthe, you just use a little. So you just get that little bit of flavor. And if you get a decent bottle of absinthe, it doesn't taste like you're drinking black licorice. This is a lovely, lovely, simple cocktail for those who don't necessarily want, a heavy, gin cocktail or whiskey. It's primarily Prosecco, right? It's sweetened Prosecco with a little dash of absinthe that gives it a little bit of a, that anise flavor. And
so
I used
if
to
you
drink
don't
these.
have absinthe, just put some Jaeger in it.
Well, yeah, now you're just starting to venture into champagne cocktail territory. And there's all sorts of varieties of champagne cocktail. Brandy, is a common one. Chambord. You put Chambord in there or something raspberry, you get what's called a Kir Royale. but no, anybody who's serious about having a bar at home, I would encourage you to invest in some absinthe. Get about it. It doesn't go bad, right? That's the beauty of it. It'll last forever. So, and you just use a little bit at a time. You can experiment with your cocktails in a martini, in a Manhattan, in straight whiskey, and then if you really start to like it, you can get to some really interesting cocktails like a De La Louisiane or Corpse Reviver #2, both of which are great cocktails. Lots of options, so highly recommend. And Death in the Afternoon is as easy as it gets. Nice variety. You'll thank me on a hot summer day, or anytime really. But a nice hot summer day is the perfect time for a little Death in the Afternoon, I would say.
I may not recommend it 8:00 in the morning, but if you're gonna day drink, you have to start.
You can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. That's the way it goes. And if you have people that are around doing mimosas and you don't really want a mimosa, nice alternative to a mimosa. It's really not, and it's not. I mean, the absinthe, you use such a small amount, it doesn't make it like a particularly potent drink, despite its name. And it was Hemingway drank a lot of these, and I think he probably gave it the name. Hence, it's kind of artistic or whatever. But yeah, I mean, if you're not a big mimosa guy or you just don't want just straight champagne, give it a whirl. There you go. Death in the Afternoon. What are you drinking in the morning, Dustin?
Hopefully I'm not death right now. Maybe I need to be the Corpse Reviver. But
yeah,
right now I've got coffee. But you know me, I am a huge flavored coffee guy.
Oh yeah,
so
nice.
Big.
Little hot cobbler there next to you with it.
This is so. My daughter Ansley went to Nollins recently.
Nice.
And she's one that when she goes on trips, she wants to buy me and the littles a little something to from the trip. And I told her this time, I said, Ansley, don't get us anything. I said, just go have fun, enjoy the time. We don't need anything. However, if you do feel so inclined and you are at a coffee shop, get me some coffee from a local place down there. I would enjoy that. So she did. And she gave me the coffee that is flavored like her favorite food in the world. And so I am drinking powdered sugar beignet flavored coffee. And I love my daughter dearly. But she's not good at picking coffee. She doesn't drink it.
Yeah, well, no.
The bitterness of it. But she thought, oh, this sounds good. Now, she did give me another one, and that one tastes good because it's just like, it's called Jackson 5th Street or something like it. It's actually like just a typical coffee. This is not. But I am drinking it. She was like, just throw it away if it tastes bad. And I go, no. Ansley, if you know anything about me when it comes to drinks,
I don't throw anything away.
I'm going to drink them. And I've had some pretty bad ones.
To be honest, when you started talking about New Orleans, I was thinking, powdered sugar beignet was arguably one of the best flavors that came to mind. Because I was thinking crawfish or,
gumbo.
Yeah. I love gumbo. I don't think I'd like gumbo coffee.
Voodoo Death in the Afternoon. It could have been.
Well, you could have gotten a lot of things. So I don't know if have you been to New Orleans?
I have not. I want to.
If you get to New Orleans and you get a fresh beignet down there, yeah.
So really the only place they go to get beignets is Cafe Du Monde.
Yeah, that's the place, right?
That is the place, right? And so anytime she's gone, she's always taking a picture of herself at Cafe Du Monde and just pile like 4 beignets. Yeah. And their beignets aren't small. So yeah, she has like 4 of them on the plate and she's just,
yeah. Well, there's a bakery chain over here called Paul, which is a French bakery, and they do beignets and they are really quite good. It's kind of a chain bakery, so it's not like, they're a specialty or something, but their beignets are good. But yeah, I do remember vividly that Cafe Du Monde And I don't know what they do different, but it's good stuff. Good stuff down there. So,
but I do have 2 other drinks too. So I have.
Oh, okay. Oh, well. All right. I thought we were just doing coffee. All right. Well, here we go.
No, here's a culture pop. No, do you know who Noah Khan is?
Not sure.
That would disappoint a lot of people over here that you don't know that, but he is.
I am culturally relevant. Yeah.
Like a famous musician here.
Country Western, I'm assuming.
No.
Oh, really?
He's not.
Okay.
Yeah. So Holly and I were at the grocery store, and I told her to pick out a couple drinks, and her daughter's favorite musician right now is Noah Khan. So Noah Khan's Sparkling Black Cherry. We'll see.
Like me some black cherry, generally speaking.
Yeah, it tastes just like black cherry.
Well, oddly enough. Good job, Noah Khan.
I definitely had some things that were not what they said they were.
Yeah, and some things that were, unfortunately.
Right. So, no, that was, if you like black cherry, that one was pretty good. And then this next one, I got it because of this symbol right there.
Yeah, that's a nice
the
symbol.
50% off symbol is a good one. It's clean yerba mate blueberry. We'll see.
Okay. I don't even know. I think people are just making stuff up when they call stuff things.
It's like blueberry tea that's not good.
Well, you're selling it.
There may be a reason it was 50% off.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Here's to finishing it.
Bottoms up. So, well, while you are finishing your yerba whatever stuff, let me throw out an opening shot. And I would assume you saw this because this made some pretty good news, particularly over here. But we have a new world record that was set recently in something that we frequently cover and yet don't do, which is running. And did you see Joshua Kerr break the mile record?
I did not.
Joshua Kerr is a British guy over here, and I can't remember what the exact event was, but he ran 3 minutes, 42.66 seconds for a mile, which beat the record by over a second, I think, or almost a second. So, which in the world of running is a lot, but it was a really incredible race. And I think, and I don't know anything about Joshua Kerr. Sorry, Josh. I probably, don't really follow track and field or athletics, as we call it over here, all that closely. But it was very clear that people were looking forward to this race. And he went out and he ran. And I saw the most incredible thing were his splits. And I think they were 100-meter splits or 200-meter splits. But his last 2 were the fastest, which you're talking about, 4 laps around the track, right? And it was a pretty close race. People were pretty close to him until the end, and that home stretch when he just starts pulling away, it was incredible. 3 minutes, 42.66 seconds, new world record in the fastest mile ever run by a human being. That's incredible.
That is pretty incredible.
That is.
There's not many things I can do in under 4 minutes these days.
No, not at all.
Getting out of bed is even a tough one to
it can be
to do it under 4 minutes. That's crazy. Good on him, though.
So,
good on him.
Indeed. All right, what do you got?
Have you seen anything on the Bills' new stadium?
I've seen one thing, and I bet it's probably what you're going with. I'll let you go. Maybe it's something different, but I think I know.
Maybe. So I don't know if I didn't read the full article. I kind of skimmed it. So I don't know if it's all the entrances from the concourse into the stadium. There is one specific entrance that pays homage to the Bills Mafia.
Mm-hmm.
Is this what you saw?
I believe so. Yes. I'll let you tell it anyway. I'm not stealing your thunder.
Well, so on the entrance into the stadium from the concourse area, you have to walk under a broken table. So it's got the white table that we all know and love, right? That is split in half, and it's got the legs coming off of the end of the white table. to pay homage to the Bills Mafia, who, is known for jumping off of things and landing on top of it to break said white table.
Yes.
And so the Bills have placed that inside their new stadium for that reason, which I thought was pretty interesting, and kudos.
I agree. And I am trying to think of, whoa, I got your hand on the screen. All right. I was like, oh, all I saw was this.
Sorry.
No, I'm that's okay. I'm trying to think of, we'll see how the million or so viewers on our YouTube channel react to that. But
it'll be talked about.
No doubt. I mean, we'll go viral. And to be fair, I haven't been to a ton of stadiums, but I'm trying to think of another like direct fan tribute that would be comparable to that. And I can't really think of anything.
Right.
I mean, you've got, famous things like you had the Black Hole in Oakland, you got the Dog Pound in Cleveland. And I'm sure when they built the new stadiums, they do, and like the Vikings, they got the big
pool
skull
in like
thing.
Florida or something. Like they have.
Well, in the outfield, they got like a pool out there. They used to, I don't know if they still do in Milwaukee, but they had the guy who slid down into the beer slide and stuff, but that's not really a fan tribute. But yeah, no, I saw the folding table, the broken folding table. And that's great. That's brilliant. I mean, and again, for those who don't know,
because
that's
it gets
what
people
Bill's
talking about it, and fans walking in there going,
"Oh yeah,
I used to do that. Oh, I've done that."
Right.
Like,
yeah,
yeah.
And again, for those of our listeners who may not know, that is what the Bills fans do in pregame. They get out there, they tailgate, and they get hammered, and then somebody jumps off a truck and lands on a folding table and smashes the folding table.
I mean, it's all sorts of things. It is negative 10-degree weather with boxers on and covered in ketchup and mustard and like just craziness. It is utter craziness.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. So
I've got one more quick one.
Okay.
So have you heard of Joshua Kuroda Grayer?
Mm-hmm. Because he's in my notes, but I'll let you have it.
You have heard of him.
I have.
This guy is the epitome of trying to play to get a contract. Like he gets pulled up. He's with the Oakland Athletics. He gets pulled up from minor leagues to play for the Oakland A's. And I can't remember another time where, like, I feel like this is the mountain peak of playing through injury when it comes to trying to make a roster spot, right? Like we've seen guys like play through injury, but we've also seen guys that, get a hangnail, Jay Cutler, and, don't want to play.
Sure.
But this guy, oh man, he's at bat. Mm-hmm. He's playing great. I mean, he's hitting around 400 for the A's, playing really well, making a good claim for a possible roster spot. And he gets up in his first at bat, and I believe he hit a home run in his first at bat.
I think so.
He gets up for his second at bat, and not the same.
Doesn't go quite as well.
Not the same. It actually goes backwards. So ball comes in hot from the pitcher, hits his bat, it's a foul ball, straight into the area that no male wants to be hit.
The midsection.
Just square, right?
Yeah.
So he's in lots of pain.
Indeed he is.
And he stands back up, and he gets back in the batter's box, and he hits a single, and he runs down to first base, and then he collapses again because of the pain. Come to find out, he had to go have emergency surgery because of a ruptured testicle after getting hit. I'll tell you right now, there is negative 100%. Like it is that I would stand back up from that, much less try to bat or run.
No.
To first base.
Well, to be honest, I didn't know he stayed in the game. I thought he came out immediately. I saw a clip I saw a clip of the foul ball, and I was like, oh, and the announcers were like, when he collapsed, they showed the replay, and the announcers both kind of go, oh boy. You know, they're kind of like, poor guy. You know, but I didn't know he stayed in the game, and I read later that he had gone and he had ruptured his testicle and had surgery and all that, so I didn't think he stayed, but
he got back in the batter's box.
That's next level toughness. Yeah. How did he make it to first?
How did he make it off the ground?
I don't know. Yeah.
But the guy I was listening to was like, he's making league minimum right now. He goes, if this guy was making $10 million, he ain't running to first base.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, yeah. Hopefully they give him a bonus, right? Throw the guy an extra, a couple.
For his surgery.
Yeah, something. Yeah, well, I'm sure that'll be good. But
workers' comp.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's those are the things they don't talk about much when they're telling you about the glories of the big leagues or professional sports.
Back
and of course,
they
don't.
We took a foul ball up.
They don't happen
and
often.
Made it to first base.
But when they do, yeah. Anyway, and with that, we will gingerly limp out of segment 1 on episode 98 of D4 Sports. Welcome back to D4 Sports Day Drinking with Don and Dustin, episode 98. And Dustin, it's time for some D4 business, and I'm going to go ahead and start. I alluded to it earlier, but I had a new experience. I got a taste of cricket in person.
Like the sport, not the insect.
Yeah,
you got
correct.
A taste of it. Okay, all right.
That's correct, yes. And I have to say, a ton of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed my day at the cricket pitch. We were at the anyway, we were at the Oval, which is one of the two major stadiums for cricket in the UK, in London. The other being Lord's, which is right close to my house. The Oval's a little further away, down south.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask, because didn't we walk by one?
Yeah, when you were here, we walked by Lord's. Yeah.
Okay, that was Lord's. All right.
Yeah, yeah, and Lord's is probably the marquee stadium. The Oval was quite nice. Definitely, there's no question about it.
It was a nice stadium. It was big.
Yeah, Lord's is lovely. It's a very nice. It's kind of the flagship cricket pitch, probably in all of England, to the best of my knowledge. But the Oval does also host international matches and everything. Well, we went to see T20. T20 is a shortened version of shortened version of cricket that basically you get up to 120 pitches, bowls, right, as they come, is the way it works out. So it's intended to keep the games last 2.5 to 3 hours generally, and that's what about these were. We saw the women's and the men's, and sat in the sun. And like I told you, my buddy, when I told him, I said, "Hey, I'm gonna go see cricket for the first time," and he said, "Well, get your drinking boots on," which is exactly what Tom Holland said. I mean, who has a slightly more popular podcast, maybe a little more popular podcast than us, called The Rest Is History. He was here signing a book, and we went and saw him, and I told him, "Hey, starting a podcast." He asked what it's about. I said, "Sports and drinking." He said, "Oh, great concept." He said, "There's nothing better than cricket, because basically all you do is just go sit in the sun all day and drink beer." And he's not wrong. That's pretty much what we did. We sat in the sun and enjoyed cricket and drank a lot of beer. And it was great. It was great. I would liken it to, and so the guy I was with, who I come to find out is a West Ham fan. So that's going to be fun. And then his buddy showed up later, a guy named Max, who's a QPR fan. So, we're going to see if we can maybe get to some football matches together here in a while. But, so James had never seen a baseball game. And obviously this is my first cricket match. So we were talking about like kind of the differences between baseball and cricket. But I would say the viewing experience or the fan experience is not terribly dissimilar, except that I would say cricket is actually a little more relaxed because, and I think the big difference is this: in baseball now, and if you go to a professional baseball game, I think the National League, the Major League average is like 24 balls in play throughout the entire game, right? Everything else is either a ball or a strike or a foul ball. And in cricket, almost every ball gets hit, right? Not every single ball and not every single pitch gets hit, but almost every one, because they can hit it in any direction, and they hit it and they can just kind of nub it on the ground, and they don't have to run. That's the interesting thing. Like when the batter hits, they get to choose if they run, and there's a base on either side, and there's a guy on each side, and if one runs, they both have to run, and if they make it safely to the other crease, I think they call it, then it's a run, right? That's how it's scored. So there's no like home run really, and they do have, if there is a boundary, there's a rope that goes around the outside that forms a circle, and if you hit it in the air out of the boundary, which would be like the equivalent of a home run in baseball, you get 6. But they don't have to run; they just kind of hit it, and everybody cheers, and then they go to the next pitch. And if you hit it on the ground and it bounces or rolls beyond the boundary, like a ground rule double would be, that's 4. But again, they don't run when they do that. So there's no, tagging in baseball. But in cricket, when they do hit it and they start to run, the fielders can throw it in and try to hit the wicket before they get into the crease or reach the base. But there's no tagging. You don't throw the ball at the guy. So it's the actual gameplay is on a pitch by pitch basis less important, I guess I would say, right? Because the ball goes into play almost every time, and probably half the time they don't run and nothing really happens, right? And so everybody's just kind of hanging out and you're kind of watching, and I'm sure some people are living and dying on every pitch, but most people were just sort of enjoying the game, talking to their friends, very social, having some drinks, having some food, whatever. Lovely day at the stadium. Awful lot of fun. I almost understand cricket now.
Do you?
No, I don't know. I don't understand any strategy about it, but
right.
I know how the game is played now.
That's a start.
Yeah.
I mean, if you give me an option to run or not run, I can tell you right now what I'm doing or not doing.
Well, what's really curious, and I did ask because it's like, well, why don't guys just try to get a 6 every time, right? And so supposedly in T20, when you have a limited number of pitches, people do bat more aggressively and try to hit 4s and 6s more often. But in Test cricket, the matches that go, days, they don't. And it's kind of curious to me. It's like, well, why would you not? And I think the answer to that is so many of the pitches, much like in baseball, are really, really hard to handle. And so a lot of them, they just foul off. Because the one thing, if you step in front of the wicket, which you can do to block, because the pitcher pitches it, and if it hits the post, and the wicket is technically a little metal thing that sits on top. If it hits the post and knocks the wicket off, you're out. And you only get 1 out. Once you're out, you're done. You're done batting. So you don't want to let it just go by you because there's a good chance it's going to hit the wicket, right? So you can't really take a pitch very much. You can step in front of the wicket to kind of block it and then try to hit. But if you step in front of the wicket and it hits you, you're out. So there's risk there. So I think a lot of the time the guys they stand and they just, it's a tough pitch and they just try to foul it off. Because the only way to get out is if they catch the ball in the air, and they have no gloves. And I asked him, I said, why don't the fielders wear gloves? He's like, I don't know. They just don't. They don't need them. I'm like, be a lot easier to catch the ball, but they don't wear gloves. So
tell that to a third baseman.
Yeah, really.
You don't get a glove today, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's very interesting. A lot of fun. Very enjoyable day. nice, sunny, moderately warm day here in the UK, and I got to enjoy my first taste of professional cricket. So, there you go. It was on my bucket list, and I crossed that one off.
There you go.
Though I would hope to go back maybe once or twice, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be a regular.
Just go with him to the West Ham Millwall game.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see about that. Or QPR. Either of those will be a little rough, frankly.
Quite possible.
Speaking of Millwall, the season starts on the 15th of August. Technically, the League Cup and the first match of the season, really that counts for the competition, the Carballo Cup or whatever they're calling it now, is against QPR, ironically, on the 8th of August. But the actual season gets going on the 15th. We've been having our friendlies and not doing very well.
They're too friendly to us.
No, but it's like preseason football or preseason basketball, right? It's like, I mean, you go online and some people are all up on we're terrible, and everybody else is like, they're friendlies, they don't matter. So, and I have no idea, to be fair, how they approach the games. So we lost this last one 1-0 to Stevenage, which is a little town we drove through on the train on the way to Cambridge, on an own goal. They didn't actually score, really, and they got credit on an own goal from Cooper. But, and I was thinking, we've added some new players, but I think we ask a lot of our listeners to bear with us with all of our Millwall ranting. The last thing we need to do is talk about European football transfers to Millwall during the transfer window and the new players that are coming. Maybe we'll get to them in time, but I don't know. How are you feeling coming into the season? You think there's going to be a letdown? You think they're fired up? What do you think?
You know me. There's going to be a letdown. We're going to end up 16th in the standings by the end of the season and call it another mediocre year.
Wow. 16th. We're not going to get 16th.
That's not relegation, baby.
Yeah, well, at least we're not getting. We won't get relegated this year. That ain't gonna happen.
No, we got good enough players to not have to worry about relegation.
But it'll be interesting to see Wolves and West Ham, who are two of the kind of fixtures of the Premier League since we've been here, now suddenly playing against championship teams. We'll see how that goes. Who else got? Burnley came back, right? So
yes, Burnley. They were terrible.
Yeah, they were. They were terrible in the Premier League. But
right, that's what I mean.
They pretty much dominated their last season in the championship, so who knows what that means. But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so Millwall's getting started again. Premier League not too far behind that. I think it's a week or two after, toward the end of August. I suppose we'll crank up the Fantasy Premier League one more time so we can have these few British people we don't know clean our clocks again. But for all of our loyal D4 listeners, the invite will be coming out. You're welcome to join again and, see if you can figure out the Premier League. I suppose we'll do the NFL Pick'em again. That will be we got a ways to go yet. That's not going to start until early September, of course, but we'll get that up and going in the next month. And I suppose those are the primary contests we got going, right, coming up in the D4 world. Any other D4 business that you can think of at this point?
Not really. There's not much going on. It will, hit hard and heavy come mid August to late August, but
indeed.
You got college football will be starting up towards the end of August as well. So I think, it's the dog days of summer are coming to a close. So.
Yeah. And I know we'll get the sports roundup here in a minute, but I suppose we may as well put an exclamation mark or comma or period or whatever you feel on the World Cup, which is now over, on a very surprising final in which I think Argentina eventually got one shot on goal, right?
I think they did. Final was 1-0. But Spain
in extra time
dominated.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Badly.
It wasn't as close as the number says.
Yeah, it was like 26 shots to 1 or something. It was It was not a
Argentina
competitive.
was playing just sheer defense to hopefully go to penalty kicks.
Yeah. And then, of course, afterward, well, and then what's the name got a red card. And I mean, watching it as the casual soccer fan that I am, I not really sure it was worth a red card, but nobody seemed to question it. And then, then afterward, there was some cheap shots taken by Argentina against the Spanish team, and they got more flack for that than anything else. But I would say that semifinal loss by England was rough over here. Yeah, I mean, I don't even want to relive it or think about it. It was, we watched it from home, and, when we scored the early goal and they were up, and then, the collapse. And really, I mean, in that game, and I was actually texting with my friend Alex over here because, England went up 1-0 at like the 60th minute or something. And then they sub out for defense. And they just dropped 5 guys back and just basically let Argentina have the ball for the last 30 minutes of the game. And I was texting my friend. I'm like, I don't know. This doesn't feel good. He's like, no, this is a bad idea. And sure enough, Argentina comes back and Messi works his magic, and he didn't get a goal, but he got 2 assists.
Like, you don't want to play not to lose.
No, and that's exactly what they did.
You want to play to win, right? Like, you pull guys out to play, cautious,
right,
conservative,
right.
That doesn't bode well in any sport. It never has.
Maybe you get to 85 minutes, right? At 85 minutes, you say, okay, let's bring our defensive subs in. Let's just hold it, right? But they did it at like the 65th or 70th minute. And I'm like, why are you trying to play 25 minutes of football without the ball?
That's what I was going to say. You're giving the offense or the other team 20 more minutes of running, 20 more minutes of like having to chase somebody that's applying pressure versus them being able to sit back just a little bit to allow for them not have to worry. You
gave maybe the greatest player of all time 25 minutes to just set up and work the offense. I mean, you gave Lionel Messi 25 minutes because I think the possession time, from about the 70th minute onward, England had the ball for like 14% of the match. Millwall is a counter-strike team. So they don't play Spain is notorious for short passes, short controlled passes, controlled game, the Spanish football style. That's how they play. Millwall is the antithesis of that. But even they have the ball 40% of the match most of the time. I was dumbfounded, and I sat there and watched it coming, and I was like, and they get the first one. I'm like, oh man, that's not good. And then my buddy Alex is the second one. He's like, you could just feel it coming. And you totally could. You could see it coming from, it's like the old in American football, the prevent defense, which prevents only winning, right? It was just, I don't know. It was really, really disappointing. And of course, it's happened to England now, I don't know, 4 times in the semifinals. And of course, you go back to the most famous one where Maradona and the hand of God play happened against England, and, was all that sort of stuff. And anyway,
but how
disappointing.
About that 3rd place game?
Yeah, I didn't even watch it. I don't know that anybody watched it. To tell you how few people watched it, there were no cheers happening outside our window when the 3rd place game was happening.
No,
so
I watched it. It was a lot of scoring.
10 goals. 6-4.
It was a lot of scoring.
I'll give you that. But so anyway, World Cup is over. I did see that the FIFA president, I can't remember his name now, flew 70,000 miles during the World Cup, which might be as much as I've flown in my lifetime. I mean, he flew all over to catch all the matches.
He's going Canada to Mexico to LA to New York.
Well, yeah.
Seattle, Miami.
So that was exciting. Yeah. So he flew all over. And then there was another guy who found a beer from every single World Cup country that was in the tournament. So 64 beers. He tracked one down, and he drank the beer from that country when they were eliminated. So that was fun.
Hanging on to Spain.
I don't know. Maybe he drank that when they won. I don't really know. But
celebratory beer.
He tracking down some beers from Cote d'Ivoire and some pretty obscure
That's
places
actually, kudos to that guy.
It was. And I don't think he's
I
don't think he's the first guy to do it. I think that's sort of there is a thing that people try to do that, but it was pretty impressive because this year the tournament expanded to 64 teams. So
yeah, once they're eliminated, that day could be pretty rough because there are some days where several teams get eliminated pretty quickly.
Yeah. And who can imagine drinking 3 or 4 beers a day?
I know, that's tough.
Just go to a cricket match. And as we full confession, we didn't even actually start watching the final of the World Cup final until about the 75th minute. We'd been watching something else and I wasn't that invested, to be fair, in Argentina and Spain. But our show ended and I'm like, oh, it's still 0-0. I turn it on. And my wife's sitting next to me and she's like, why didn't you remind me about the halftime show? I'm like, because I genuinely didn't care about the halftime show. And
fair enough.
Yeah. And I don't know if you saw any of the international commentary on the halftime show, but Wayne Rooney, right, who's a famous English soccer player and a bit of a
I know,
tough guy,
rough guy. Yeah.
Some were like, what do you think of the halftime show? He was it was terrible. He just point blank. He's like, I don't know what they were. I don't even know why we were doing it, and what they did was just terrible. It was awful. I was like, all right, Wayne, tell us how you really feel, buddy. Even the other announcers were like, well, okay. So, but yeah, halftime show at the World Cup. Welcome to America. So, one more. Erling Haaland might have won the World Cup for as players go. Right. Not only did Norway make it, I think what did they make it to? They made it to the quarterfinals, and did
they
really
made it
well.
Further than expected.
Oh, way. And the whole rowing, the Norwegian thing. But Haaland, right? I mean, he just became larger than life, and everybody just fell in love with him. But did you see what he took?
He's already a large dude.
He is. But he's pretty soft spoken. And, doesn't seem to be the most demonstrative guy, but he's really demonstrated a nice, quiet, sort of dry sense of humor. But did you see what his souvenir was that he took back with him from the U.S. when he landed or when he got off the plane?
Mm-hmm.
He had a stuffed raccoon with a whiskey bottle in its paws that he's walking off the plane with. And everybody was like, all right, there you go. There's your American souvenir.
We're known for obscure things and souvenirs. Did he get it from Buc-ee's?
I don't think so. I don't know where he got it. I didn't read that much about it. I was not that interested in the stuffed raccoon, but
just the whiskey.
He carried the whole thing. The whole thing. Erling Haaland, who my wife looked at and said, he said he could play Ragnar Lothbrok. And I was like, yeah, he probably could.
He matches his mascot, or not the mascot, but what you would visualize coming from that country.
He is a Viking. I'll tell you that much. So anyway, World Cup's done for 2026. Another 4 years until we get to see it again. And I don't even remember where it's going next time. It's going to over here in like Spain and Morocco. And that's like the first time they're playing on 2 continents and whatever. I don't know. We'll see. Got a while to wait for it. And in America,
start collecting your beers now.
Yeah, well, you don't know who's in it yet. Anyway.
And you're saying if you have more than 64, then just every country in general. That's what you should do. Start collecting from every single country.
That way you're ready. And on opening day, you can drink all the teams that didn't make it.
There you go. Down the hatch, baby.
That'd be a big day. All right. And with that, D4 Business comes to a close on episode 98, D4 Sports. episode 98. This is the Sports Roundup. And Dustin, I want to start with one that I know we talk about this on occasion. It is also on my bucket list, and I had hoped to go and see it earlier this year, but we had a darts event. Did you see the darts event that happened recently?
Of course I didn't.
Luke Littler is what you were going to say. Throws a 9-darter on TV, which, by the way, has happened only 112 times ever. So it's comparable to like a 300 game. But he throws a 9-darter on TV in like the first round of whatever tournament this was. And I looked up what it actually takes to throw a 9-darter. And and for those who don't know, in darts, I believe it's 501 points that you have to get in a round.
Yes.
And so you're throwing darts, and everything you hit, you get points for. And the fastest you can do it is in 9 darts. And the kicker is that you have to get to 501 exactly, and you have to finish with a double, right? So that's in that outside ring. And there are, as I did a little bit of reading on this, there is more than one way to do a 9-darter, right? There's actually probably 15 or 20 different ways. But the most common way is what he did, which is 7 triple 20s in a row, right? So his first, 3 at a time, he goes, thonk, 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 right? And that triple 20. Nice. Next round, thonk, 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 3 triple 20s. Then he gets his next one, thonk, triple 20, 7 triple 20s in a row. Then he goes triple 17 and double 15, which is the most common way to do the 9-darter. And I know we joked, and you were talking about Holly, and you're like, well, that can't be hard. I mean, that looks pretty easy. And I would just say to anybody who has not played darts in a while, just simply try to hit anything on purpose. Like, I just stand there at any of the 20 circles. Choose a bullseye if you want. Just say, I'm going to get a 1, and try to actually just get a 1 and see how hard that really is. But 7 triple 20s in a row, then to go to triple 17, double 15. It's pretty ridiculous. But Luke Littler does it again.
He's good at what he does.
I don't think he's 20 yet. Or he may be just 20 years old. It's ridiculous, actually, that he's as good as he is, as young as he is. But, all right. So that will open our sports roundup. How about you give me your take on Wimbledon, which is now, we're a ways past Wimbledon, right? But
I mean, it ended with Sinner winning, beating Zverev 1 and 2. Djokovic was in the semis. So was what's his face from England, Deary. What was his name?
I don't remember what his name was now. I think I have my notes from last time. But
yeah, I mean, not surprised, but I mean, it was the 1 and the 2 facing off against each other.
Yep.
Zverev came out pretty hot in the beginning of the match, and then Sinner kind of just took control, and I think he won it in 4.
Yep.
So nothing crazy.
Nope.
So.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I think Alcaraz is hoping to come back for the U.S. Open. He's hoping to come back for the hard court scene.
September, right? Beginning of September.
It's always like the same weekend as the opening weekend of the NFL, or right about there. It's around Memorial Day.
Yeah.
So he should be, it should be right there. And supposedly he's going to be ready to get back for the hard court circuit and will compete in the U.S. Open. So that'll be good. So yeah, I don't know. I don't want to take anything away from Sinner and Zverev. Again, Wimbledon kind of passed fairly under the radar here this year. And, Zverev has played well. This is his second straight final, right? He won the French, right? And so when Sinner bowed out early, and he's a great player. And maybe, he even kind of himself said, I hope to not be an afterthought to Alcaraz and Zverev or Sinner, but he kind of is at this point. So we'll see if when Alcaraz gets back, if Zverev can maintain. It would be nice to have 3 guys competing, I suppose, to get another sort of big 3 happening. So there's that. Yeah, so that was the British Open, or the Open Championship as they call it here. Won by Ryan Fox, a New Zealand golfer who not many people knew much about. I'm assuming you saw some things about Ryan Fox afterward. Did you see any of the social media hype about him, or what makes Ryan Fox an interesting player?
I did not.
The dude plays faster than almost anybody out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, in fact, he played on the last putt, and again, he birdies 18 to win the tournament, right? Like, so he's on. It's a tremendous second shot, 9-iron, puts it about. It's probably 12 feet. I don't remember exactly. It was close, but certainly nothing like a gimme, right? He's got about 12 feet to win. If he makes it outright, he wins. If he misses, he goes to a playoff, right? So Sam Burns is his partner. Sam Burns, who had been winning the tournament much of the time and kind of faded down the stretch. So it was kind of sad. Sam Burns gets up there, putts out. Ryan Fox, the broadcast barely had time to get the camera on him. From the moment that Sam Burns hit his putt until Ryan Fox hit the winning putt for the Open was 22 seconds. 22 seconds from the time Burns hit until he actually hit his putt. Now, that's not very long. I've already been talking about him longer than it took him to actually hit that putt. And in the era of, the guys lining it up, they go halfway, they look, they step, they feel, they balance their putter, they walk around, they come around, they nail down behind, they remark the ball, they clean it off, they put it back down, one more look, one check, practice swing. This dude gets up there.
For any putt. This is for the tournament.
This is the putt. Yeah. The most pressure putt of all. He stands there, gets behind it, eyes it, steps up to it, steps up, takes a practice swing, bam, hits it, nails it. 12-footer good.
Yeah. But for him, again, I didn't read a whole lot on it. But why veer from what you've been doing anyway?
Well, right. No, it's not that he did anything different on pressure time. It's that he did everything the same, and he plays so much faster than everybody else. Somebody actually set, Patrick Cantlay, of course, is the most famous guy right now for being just incredibly slow. Him and Matthew Fox, but Cantlay just stands there and waggles and adjusts the grip. And somebody put Ryan Fox up there at a tournament. And they put them side by side. And I think Ryan Fox hit his drive on the 18th tee of the last hole of the Open 5 times before Cantlay hit one drive. It's just amazing. I'm a big pace of play guy. It's one of the things that's most frustrating about going out to play golf is you see guys stand there and, even in just casual round, and they walk all the way to their ball and they look and then they walk back and they grab a club and they stand and they toss the grass and I'm like, dude, just get up and hit the ball, right? Like you're not playing for anything. You're not that good. You don't really, whatever. And it takes you stand there and you wait and you wait and you wait. It's hard to get in a rhythm. So I try to be mindful of pace of play, but I've got my routine, right? Like on the drive, I get up, I find a spot on the tee I want. I put the ball down, I step behind it. I find my line, I come up, I take a practice swing, I check my line one more time, and I hit. And that's what I do, right? It's not ridiculously fast. It's not slow, right? You don't see pros do that anymore, right? It's just, the routines are just, they're all Nomar Garciaparra up there. They're all going crazy. And he, crazy fast. So, that of course brought out the whole round of, pace of play whiners in golf. But congratulations to Ryan Fox, another new major winner. So we've got that. Did you watch the All-Star game?
Nope.
Home Run Derby?
Yes.
Okay, so
watch the Home Run Derby.
Give me your take on the Home Run Derby, because I know they changed the format this year. No longer timed. Right? It's now based on number of swings. And most of the reports were, not as good, but then the final got exciting at the end, right? With you can tell it if you want, but
no, the home run derby is usually fun. And when it comes to all-star games and the sideshow of all-star games, the dunk contest used to be the top.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore. But the home run derby is always fun. And this one, I can agree somewhat with the sentiment of, it was okay, because some of the guys didn't fare well at the beginning, but when you got down to the last four, it really started to pick up. Right.
Yeah.
The hard part is now these guys are exhausted that are going out there, but no, Jordan Walker for the Cardinals against Kyle Schwarber, the hometown kid. Yeah. Walker having to basically hit 4 home runs in a row to win it. Does it?
Well, didn't he hit 6 in a row? Isn't that like on the last 6 pitches? Didn't he hit six consecutive to win it?
Was it 6 in a row? It was a lot.
Ridiculous.
Like he had to, but his swing looked like he didn't even care.
Yeah.
Like it just was so smooth and effortless, and then the ball rocketed off the bat.
Yeah.
So
that was exciting. Again, you kind of Jordan Walker does a total rug pull on Philadelphia and the home team, because Schwarber's been hitting a ton of home runs this year. He's the guy everybody wanted to see. He delivers, and then he comes up and just like, whoop, guess what? I'm gonna win it. So
they're just booing Jordan Walker. I mean,
well, that became
it
the
was
things I read
Philly
about it.
fans being Philly fans.
Well, that was the thing I read about it, was what made it so much fun was basically the Phillies fans started booing everybody else. And Holly's
like, oh, that's so sad. I'm like, no, this is Philly. Like this is you.
And
put
I'm
Santa
sure the
Claus
players
out
loved
there.
it.
They're throwing snowballs at him.
Yeah,
like,
and I'm sure the other guys get out there and they get booed, and I'm sure they're loving it. I mean, it would have been a lot of fun, but yeah.
Oh yeah, this wasn't the boos of "we hate you, we don't, get out of town" kind of thing. Right. This was like, we're pulling for our guy. This is still fun, but we're gonna heckle you.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about it was being able to text Brian afterwards and saying that a Cardinal beat a former Cubby in the home run derby.
Yeah.
So
always worth a jab. Yeah. Well, the All-Star game itself, 27 strikeouts in the All-Star game, which is preposterous when you have the supposed best hitters in the game. And what was fascinating, when I saw that stat, I went in and I literally looked at every single pitch. You can go in and you can see the play-by-play, and the ESPN, you can break it down. You can look at every at-bat.
Mm-hmm.
Guess how many pitchers threw over 100 miles an hour in this game?
4.
2.
Oh.
Only 2 pitchers threw over 100 miles an hour. Nope. And none of them until the 8th inning. I don't think Mizorowski pitched, did he? If he did, he didn't hit 100, because I went and looked at every pitch. Louis Villard and Mason Miller were the only 2 pitchers to hit 100, and even those weren't until the 8th inning. Which is really fascinating, right? Because I mean, that's the way baseball's gone. But again, but to that point, probably for the first 5 innings of the game, the managers are using starting pitchers, right? Because those are still the guys who are kind of the glory guys in the pitching world. So those tend to not be the guys who are just throwing pure heat. And in fact, a lot of these guys, there were several guys who were, and again, to be fair, having lived over here now for almost 4 years, haven't seen almost any baseball. But some of these guys got to be darn close to junk ballers, because they're throwing stuff in the mid 80s to the low 90s. Everything's a breaking ball. So, the breaking ball is alive and well, I would say. Or hitters just can't hit. 27 strikeouts in an All-Star game is nonsense. But yeah, so I found that fascinating, that in a time where the majority strategy of most baseball games is have your starter go 5, maybe 6 innings, and then bring in guy after guy after guy for 12 pitches at a time, throwing 100 miles an hour. They didn't do that in the All-Star game, which is interesting because they didn't do it in the World Series either last year. And I don't know. There's a lot of potential things you can say about that. But a couple of other baseball highlights. Yamamoto throws a complete game for the Dodgers. And that's interesting because he gave up 2 runs. And pretty uncommon to have anybody have a shot at a complete game if you give up any runs anymore. But he only threw 102 pitches, so maybe that's why. And then Skubal for the Tigers throws 7 shutout innings and 87 pitches, and they pulled him. Okay. And Chris Sale, also 7 innings shutout baseball, 89 pitches, and they pulled him. So who knows? But Chris Sale fact. Chris Sale has had another game with 10 strikeouts. All right. Another game with 10 strikeouts. He now is 7th all time in games with 10 or more strikeouts in a game. So let me ask you. We'll do a quick trivia here. Give me your guy. Who do you think? Who are the leaders? Let's just shoot for top 10. But I'd give you top 10 guys with 10 or more strikeouts in a single game. Most times doing it.
Nolan.
Number 1, 215.
Randy.
Number 2, very good, 212.
Greg Maddux.
No, not on the list.
Okay. Oral Hershiser.
Not on the list. These are all modern baseball guys, but we don't have to go back to Walter Johnson or Cy Young. Okay, just so you know.
Well, fine then. Man. I have a bunch of pitchers going through my mind, but I'm not coming up with a whole lot.
Max Scherzer is 3rd with 114. Verlander is 12th with 73.
Okay.
Behind Sale. All right, I'll help you out. Roger Clemens. Wainwright's not on there. But there is a Cardinal on there. A very famous Cardinal pitcher. Big, mean guy.
Bob
Gibson. Also tied with one ahead of Verlander at 74.
Okay.
Roger Clemens, 110. Pedro Martinez, 108. Sandy Koufax, 97. Sale at 94. Kurt Schilling at 93. Steve Carlton, 84. And then I don't remember Sam McDowell. And then Tom Seaver, Clayton Kershaw with 68, and Garrett Cole at 64. Those are your top
pitcher.
Yeah, those are your top 15 all time. But Chris Sale breaks into that. Chris Sale was always one of these guys that I felt like should have been way, way, way more dominant than he has been. I know part of that was injury and whatnot, but a lot like Randy Johnson, right? Big slinging left-hander, just dominant when he's on. I just think he hasn't probably had quite the career that a lot of people thought he would. But all right. One other baseball note. The Red Sox, although they've lost a couple, they went on a 15-game win streak. 19-2 since the 26th of June, which is not too bad. But, in the fundamental equilibrium of the universe, got to keep things balanced. The A's have done their part by going 3-15 in that same time. So, we'll see.
The A's.
But real quick, let me just double check this because I looked and we had, last time I checked, we had, we are now, again, we only have 2 teams under 400 in the winning percentage. The Angels at 41-64 and the Rockies at 42-64. Everybody else is at 400 or better. So the season of parity in baseball continues. And I did actually check again, one more time. I've been tracking, who spends what, right? And who's winning. And it's becoming even more and more stark. The big spenders like 6 out of the top 10 are winning really well. The low spenders, like 6 out of the bottom 10 are doing really well. The teams that are terrible are the teams that are half doing it. The middle band is not good, like almost any of them. And that's a pretty fascinating. That's interesting. And we'll see if that persists through the end of the season. But it's almost like you go big or you play small ball and you try to win with,
you can't do both.
Yeah, it doesn't look, it kind of looks like it. You try the, what was the, I was going to say Billy ball, but that's not what it's called. The
Money ball.
Money ball, right. You either go money ball or you throw all the money at him. If you go half and half, it's not working out for you this year.
The other day, actually.
Oh, yeah? I've never seen it, actually. Never seen Moneyball. I know. Sorry. Heresy. Should have seen it. But
I would recommend it.
I'll see what I can do. Get it on the list. All right. You got anything else for Sports Roundup?
No, I'll save it for Final Shot.
Okay. There we go. Sports Roundup, episode 98, D4 Sports. D4 Sports, bartender called last call. And before we do, let me say, I'm sure our astute listeners have noticed we have some new music selections. There were some inserted last week. Trey Klein, my son-in-law, has given us a handful of new selections. So you'll continue to enjoy those. So thank you, Trey, for your continued support of this show and giving us some more music to do. But with that in mind, Dustin, last call, what do you got?
Have you heard of LeBron James?
Who?
Okay, maybe. Well, let me give you a little insight into him.
Okay.
Philly. He went to Philly.
Yeah.
Man, I'm not surprised, but I'm a little surprised at the amount.
Yeah. So what do you? I mean, he went 2 years for $8 million, right? Which I guess is the veteran minimum, right?
It is.
Yeah. But what do you think of that?
He just wants a ring. And
yeah.
This, and looking at the team, this may be one of the best starting fives in NBA history.
If they all play.
Well, at least for 15 games with Embiid.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Tyrese Maxey. You've got VJ Edgecombe, who's an up-and-coming phenomenon. I mean, he's great. Jaylen Brown, who has moved from the Celtics to the Sixers. LeBron James and Joel Embiid. Not much of a bench, but I mean, Kelly Oubre started a ton of games for the Sixers this year, and he'll come off the bench. I mean, they've got some names. There is a NBA veteran who has been seen recently practicing at Villanova, which is
in Philadelphia.
In Philadelphia. Do you know who that veteran is? Anthony Davis. I'm not sure.
Well, so here's the thing, and I would like your take on it. And I know you can't just say straight up you can't do it, but when you got some guy who's been playing at the league max and has literally been the face of the league, and he completely skews the entire money basis of the league like he's done, I almost feel like they should put in a rule that says if you're playing on a league maximum deal or in the top 10%, you cannot go and take less than a 50% deal somewhere, right? And there's so many there's so many reasons for that, right? But mostly because all the GMs around the league are like, what? I mean, what are we doing? Like, how are we supposed to build a competitive team when you got one guy who can skew things that badly, right? I mean, Tom Brady famously didn't take the max, but he didn't play for nothing. He was still a top 5 paid quarterback in the league, or top 10, even at the end of the season, right? He was willing to not be the highest paid player, but he didn't go and play for $2 million somewhere and allowed the team to build a roster. I don't know. I just, and it's like, does this become precedent? Now, are other players expected to go and play for this little? Can other players just go? Can you get 10 guys who've all made $200 million in their year? All go, hey, we'll all come play for $10 million each, and you load a rust. I mean, I guess you could. It doesn't feel right to me. That's my take. What do you think?
I mean, I don't disagree. I think at this time in his career, he doesn't need any extra money.
Well, but none of these guys need money. I mean, if you've played in the NBA for 3 or 4 years, you've made $50 million, right? You don't need any more money. Now, I get it. That's easy for me to say, being a guy who doesn't make anywhere near that, but I don't know.
I mean, I've seen people take veteran minimum and go to a team to try to win championships. Karl Malone and Gary Payton. Karl Malone and Gary Payton both did that the same year. They both went to LA, took veteran minimum, and it didn't happen. They didn't. Yeah, like Karl, because they were at the end of their career. Mm-hmm. Not everybody is LeBron,
right?
Who 20 some odd years in still having the same numbers he did when he was 6 years in. I mean, he still has the numbers.
Yeah.
So, but the hard thing is, and we've seen in the past, when it's come to the big three, the first year never works.
Yeah.
Miami. Yeah. The Celtics with Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Ray Allen. Yeah. Now, did it come together? Yes. And I think that's why he did a 2-year deal was maybe. Like, I know that there's a chance this first year we're going to have to learn to mesh together and we can have a run or whatnot, but it'll be interesting to see. I don't know if Joel can not be the guy.
Like we were saying, he's going to be like, oh, miraculously, he played 80 games this year.
Yep.
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe that's something we'll bring up again later, because the money thing irks me. It's fishy. It's not what they fight so much for salary cap and for cost control and for building a roster strategically. And then you get a guy like this who goes and says, yeah, screw it. I'll play for nothing. And I don't know. I don't like it. And it's not because it's LeBron. I wouldn't like it if Curry did it, right? If one of these guys who's still it's one thing when you're, I mean, the league veteran minimum is there so that old guys or, guys who aren't going to keep playing can keep playing. But that's not LeBron, right? I mean, that's not LeBron at all. So anyway. All right. Well, let me round out with a couple of more slightly lighter. Let's talk politics, because we love politics. And over here, Andy Burnham is the new prime minister. He's now the 7th prime minister in 10 years, I think, which is insane for England. But he announced a 20% tax cut on all the pubs in the UK.
He knows how to stay in office. So
Andy Burnham is my guy. I have no idea if he's any good or not, but Andy Burnham is my guy. Yeah, it just on the business tax. I mean, it'll help. Yeah. I don't think my pints get any cheaper, but there's that. But all right, so that's number one, and then number two, I came across a new sport that when I saw this online, I genuinely thought this was fake, and I actually went out and I had to double check because I thought surely this is like The Onion, but it's not. The annual World Snail Racing Championship has been won by Snailor Swift, a snail who covered a whopping distance of 13.5 inches. That's 34 centimeters for those of you who are in metric, in 3 minutes and 13 seconds to take home the crown.
I don't even know what to say.
I know. I was like, surely But no, it's real. Snail racing. So we started with the fastest human to run a mile in 3 minutes and 42 seconds. And we finish with a snail running 34 centimeters in 3 minutes and 13 seconds. Symmetry.
There you go.
D4 in perfect symmetry. What do you think of that?
I got nothing.
Snail racing. I don't even... Yeah. They do it in France. What a surprise.
Well, that's not surprising.
Then they butter him up and have him with parsley. Congratulations.
What do they do for the winner?
Snailor Swift.
Eat them.
Yeah, that's right. And with that, I think we will bring an end to episode 98. 98, Dustin. I think we're almost exactly 3 years in since we started, or 3 years in. We're getting very close to our third-year anniversary coming in. And, yeah. Thank you to our listeners who have enjoyed the ride along with us. We will keep bringing you content to the millions around the world who've been listening. You keep doing your thing. And until next time, D4 out. D4 Sports is brought to you by Don and Dustin and by our sponsors, Sports and Day Drinking. Special thanks go to Trey Klein for providing the music behind D4 and all our friends and family for supporting us throughout this effort.